Welcome to episode 19 of the World of Screens podcast. On today's show, we will be reviewing The Long Walk, the latest Stephen King adaptation. We're going to give our quick thoughts on the unromantic comedy Splitsville and Downton Abbey, the grand finale, plus, or as always, looking at last weekend in the Aussie box office. I'm Nick Barrow, founder and film editor at World of Screens, joined again by Ashlee Pradella, the awards editor, the all-around awards expert at World of Screens, who's been busy with TIFF coming to a close. All the awards coming out of TIFF. It's been insane. How are you going, Ash? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I've got a bit of a cold, I have to say. It might sound a bit crazy, but like the Emmys were today. I watched that. My favorite show, the Pit ones. That was really fun. And like, yeah, the TIFF People's Choice was announced. So it's just been like an exciting time on like the award circuit.
How good is it just being a movie and TV lover right now? Going
Like,
into
I
the
don't
all the
even know what
awards.
people do who like don't like movies and TVs.
What else
It's
is there?
crazy. Like,
What else is
yeah, and
there?
there's just always something to look forward to. I guess that's what people like that are into sports like as well. It's just like every week there's some new thing, right?
I was about to say I get to dip in both worlds. I'm a big sports fan too. I
Agreed.
had my favorite team, the Brisbane Broncos, playing in a final yesterday, and it was the
Nice.
most anxiety-inducing experience of my life.
Oh
And
goodness.
to the point where Rhiannon left the room, and I don't blame her. She went upstairs. She was sick of me. But I also feel the same way about certain movies. So it's literally sports fandom, but this is the finals, the Emmys, the Oscars. This is the grand
Exactly
finals,
right. My
which is
dream.
exciting. Before we get into all our reviews for today, though, a bit of housekeeping. Obviously, if you're listening to us on your preferred podcasting platform, thank you. We really appreciate the support. If you download and follow the show on that platform, it gets us into the algorithm and it helps so much. Speaking of subscribing, you can do that on YouTube as well. And you can do it at worldofscreens.com. Jump onto our emailing list. We've revamped the emailing list. You're gonna get one email per week with all the articles, all the giveaways, all of Ashley's articles, all of our hot takes are all gonna come to you on Friday morning in one compact, nice email. So you'll be able to see everything that we've gotten up to in the week. And if you jump on Instagram at World of Screens, give us a follow there. All their support is incredibly helpful. So we got two movies that came out over the weekend. We got Downton Abbey, the grand finale, and Splitsville. Smaller releases, but ones that I think are worth talking about. We've both seen Splitsville, so I'll quickly talk about Downton Abbey, the grand finale first, because I never watched the show. I don't. Did you ever watch Downton Abbey?
I never watched it, and like it kind of looks like the kind of thing I might like. And then
You
I
might be
actually
into.
saw some images of like Theo James in the show, and I was just like, why didn't I ever watch this? I didn't know he was in this show. Is he in the movie? Like,
He's not in
surely
the
not. Is
movies.
Theo
No, so
James in the movie?
I no, he's not,
Yeah,
and
he
he's.
must
I
have
don't
just
think
been
he's
like
in
in a
any
few
of them.
episodes or something. Yeah.
That's probably what it feels to
Really?
me
Okay.
almost
Okay.
like
That makes me feel slightly better then.
it makes me feel like Downton Abbey might be almost. I know EastEnders is kind of this, but maybe Downton Abbey is like the home and away of England, where they kind of people get to cut their teeth in a bit of television before they become superstars like Theo James. But 6 seasons of television. This is the third film now, and it's the grand finale. And in all honesty, each one of these films have felt like it could be the final movie. It could be like the sending off chapter for Downton Abbey. I quite liked the first two films. I thought they were very sweet. I thought they were, I enjoyed being in this world. They're very wholesome. They have sort of a lot of melodrama to them. The production design is incredible. The score is always incredible. It's a period piece, obviously set in the early 1900s. The grand finale is probably the worst of the three because
Oh, damn.
it's less of a movie and more of like let's play the greatest hits. Let's give every character you've ever loved like a nice send off. So in that way, it is sweet. It's a bittersweet film because it's sort of the end of one chapter and sort of teases the start of like the next generation of everything that's going to happen in the Crawley mansion or in the
Oh, so
Crawley
there's
Abbey.
like another spin-off show after this. Is that the
I,
idea?
I potentially. Well, this whole movie's about legacy and dealing with like a changing world. Like people kind of don't care about aristocracy anymore in the early 1900s. Or I think this is one that's in the
Oh,
19.
shock horror. Okay, I love it.
And we
The
know where that
drama.
goes. As us now we're living 100 years later, we know where that goes. But it fuels a lot of the melodrama. Like the biggest scandal in this film is that the main character, Lady Mary, is getting a divorce. Like that's the big oh my god in this film. And now I feel like divorce. Well, we're going to be talking about divorce in the next film, right? So, as a more common thing, I think fans of this film or this series will get a lot out of this film. It is just like it's nice to be in the world. It's nice to be with the characters one last time, and that's kind of it. I was not like as swept up in this film as I was with the other ones. So if you're a fan of Downton Abbey, give it a go. If you're not, and this is like your entry point, you can probably leave this one. I don't think this is one you'll be chasing anytime soon. The grand finale.
Probably not. No, I mean I haven't seen any of them, sadly. But yeah, I don't know. It looks sweet, like you said, and yeah, fans. I'm assuming that it's done pretty well at the box office the last few, like since this is the third one.
I believe so. I think the first one was like a proper box office hit. I'm just going to quickly get it up now because I think on a $13 million budget, it made almost $200 million.
Whew,
So
okay,
it's
no
a lot
wonder
of, it's
they've
pretty
like
good.
gone on to make three.
Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I mean,
then
I know it's a very popular show and it has its fans.
hugely popular. And then the second one came out in 2022 and it was kind of like just post COVID and it still made $92 million. So
Okay, nice. Is the show
things are.
like still running?
No, the show ended. It ran 6 seasons. I think it ended in like 2016 or 17 or
Oh,
something.
wow. Okay, cool.
And then the first movie was 2019. So this definitely seems, but like I said, it always feels like they were coming. Any one of those films could have been the finale. It could have been the final chapter, like spoilers for the second film. But the character Maggie Smith plays, who's like the matriarch of the Crawley house, dies. And the whole film is like about her legacy ending. And I was like, oh, that's all, sweet, but bitter way to end it. And then we go, oh, we've got more stories to tell. But there's so many characters. And that's what this movie feels like. It feels like 20 characters getting a send off in 2 hours runtime. So
I thought is Dan Stevens in this as well? I feel like
he
I'm
was
just
in the
asking these
show.
questions, but
No, he was definitely in the show. He's not in the
okay, there we
films
go.
though. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got too famous. He
All
got
these
too.
actors I love that were in the show. Yeah.
They
Okay.
all popped up. They
Interesting.
all cut their teeth in Downton Abbey. So, but
Seems
that is
like it.
Downton Abbey, the grand finale. Let's go move on to the second film, which we've both seen, which is Splitsville, an
Yes.
unromantic comedy from Michael Angelo Covino. Uh, this movie. Did you see The Climb? Actually, is what I want to ask. Their
This
first
is
film.
so funny because I checked my letterbox. I was like, I need to watch this film, and I've already logged it. So yes,
Right.
I have seen it, but I literally remember nothing about this movie.
Yeah.
So that's not like a great sign, obviously. I feel like I want to go back and rewatch it now because I was obsessed with Splitsville. I was just such a big fan.
It's such a good movie. I really liked The Climb. I think it's definitely one to go back and watch because it's much more of a two-hander. It's pretty much like them the whole film.
Yeah.
But them is Michael Angelino Covino who directed it and Kyle Marvin who co-wrote it, and they star in it together with Adria Arjona and Dakota Johnson. Um, this movie's fucking hilarious. It
It was
is.
so funny. Like, yeah, I know I said this about The Roses last week, but like this is the funniest movie of the year. It is like I actually like wonder like are comedies back because I feel like we've actually gotten a decent amount this year. And like when I look over the past 5 years of this decade, we've had almost none, and now all of a sudden we've got so many, and I'm in heaven.
And like genuine comedies that aren't just I love like the Naked Gun or something like that, or that is just a
Yes,
pure
yeah.
gun. But this one has such a riveting story at the center of it. It's Kyle Marvin's character and Adria Arjona's character. They're in the early stages of a divorce. He runs away to his friends to like find solace and to find advice, only for them to admit they're in an open marriage, and then he sleeps with his best friend's wife, who is Dakota Johnson, and it's just chaos, and chaos ensues. And it's a really fun sort of exploration of modern relationships, of divorce, of open relationships. It talks about sex in such a candid way, and the emotional side of it, and the sensual side of it. And it's just the full commitment from everyone in this film, from a screenplay perspective and from an acting perspective, with this absurd comedy thrown into like just salt and pepper it up is like such a unique experience. Like I don't feel like I've seen a movie that is this tonally all over the place that still works, I guess is what I'm saying.
I 100% agree. And I actually like wanted I don't know if you would agree with me on this, but
Hmm.
to me I actually got a lot of vibes of Forgetting Sarah Marshall from this movie.
Yes, I
And I
hadn't
know
thought of
it's
it
not
till
just
now, but yeah,
because the all the dicks in this movie because it's very like similar kind of like
yes,
premise.
totally.
With how much like Jason Segel's like kind of always getting naked and like the comedy around that. But
Yes.
yeah, like I don't know, I really felt like this was such a like similar kind of like breakup movie
Hmm.
and
That's a good point.
Not that this
Yeah.
is like a fully like about a breakup, but like that's part of the movie, obviously. And yeah, I just thought it was like such a well done dramedy, and yeah,
Mm.
like I was literally howling in some scenes.
It's truly hilarious. Was one of those scenes the extended slapstick fight between the two
Oh
best
my God,
friends?
yes. And I didn't even realize until I was like watching something afterwards how like unobservant I am. But like that whole scene is a one-off. Like
It's
I
a
was
one
like,
shot.
holy shit, how did he do that? I don't know. It was very impressive. The fish scene, the
The
fish
fish
tank, like
scene.
holy shit.
It's so funny. And I love, and it's not necessarily just a scene, but the whole concept of all the either pretty much the exes, but the guys who have basically been the rebound since the divorces and the breakups all start living in the same house together. Just
It
because
was
they're like,
just so
I don't know
good.
where to go, so I came to see you, bro. And it's hilarious just how that develops over the course of the film as well. It's just so funny.
Yeah, like I am a bit disappointed we can't like talk spoilers because I
I'm sure we can
ultimately
do a little bit, yeah, just
I
to
guess
entice
like my
people.
question to you is kind of like where do you think this film sits in like the idea of is monogamy or an open marriage like a good or a bad thing?
Yeah,
Because
that's interesting.
it was really hard for me to actually understand where like this movie kind of comes down on because one thing I
Mm,
found
sure.
really interesting about this was kind of how they actually played into a lot of like everyone's got self-doubts and then
Mhm.
you know they kind of this character said, oh, I only agreed to do the open marriage because I was so scared that you would leave me and I'm so fucking ugly and all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you know, because I think like one criticism of the film you could definitely look at and say is like, why would these two ugly guys be like with these two beautiful girls? And that's
I
like
think they
literally part of the
totally
whole
did that on
story.
purpose as well. And I think that they're
Yeah.
fully aware of that as well. They're kind of every interview, not every interview, but so many interviews have been about. So, like, you guys cast Dakota Johnson and Adria Arjona as your partners in this film. It's like, that's crazy, right? And they're kind of like, that's the point, I
That's
guess,
literally the point of
right?
the story. Yeah. And like, I just want to preface this by saying, like, I don't think they're ugly. Like, I actually
No,
found them
no.
to be absolute superstars and so funny and attractive. Like, I find like
Michael
that kind of humor so funny and
Michael Angelo
attractive. But
Covino
yeah,
got insanely ripped for this movie. It is wild when
oh,
he does
yeah.
strip off, and many
I'm so
times in the
jealous you
film.
got to like talk to him. I'm just
He's cool,
like,
man. He was very cool to talk to. And he stayed fully clothed for my interview, however. So I don't know whether I appreciate that or not, but
oh, damn it.
um, it's a good question. Like going back to your question, it's one of those things where I agree with you. I don't think this movie really does fall on a side, but I also don't think that was the intention. I'm a big believer of you bring to a movie your preconceived notions and your ideologies and your ideas about things. And I think if you went into this film going, oh, I don't believe in monogamy or and things like that, I think you would find this movie's probably a criticism about it when it's kind of not as well, because it is exploring the ideas of the fact that are we supposed to be with the same person forever and ever, and have, you know, this monogamous life with them. But if you came into this going like, I believe in the full sanctity of marriage and one partner for the rest of your life, and you have to have a family with that person, you might open up these ideas and go, oh, you know, yes, I can understand the frivolous, youthful fun that can come from that, but also at the same time, like, do we need that sort of stability in our lives? You see how unhinged their lives become because of the poly side of the relationships. And you can kind of sit there and go, you know, maybe we do just need the structure of a monogamous household. I don't know. So,
Especially with the child. Like, one of these couples
especially
have a
with a
kid.
child.
So, yeah,
Yes,
it's
once you bring a kid into it, it's very much so. It changes the entire ball
that
game.
was
So,
actually partially what I liked about this movie is that I
mm,
do think like one of the core messages was that just life is super messy and you
totally,
kind of
yeah.
have to embrace the messiness and the chaos to ultimately find happiness. And
Hmm.
yeah, I did find it interesting because it kind of it got me really thinking about the concept of monogamy and everything
Mm,
and like okay well are we like just with our partners because that's the way it's supposed to be and are we like
totally, yeah.
constraining them into a box but then these characters really kind of come to the conclusion no I do really love you I just had all these personal insecurities
Yeah.
and yeah it just really made me think really heavily about it but then yeah the very ending of the film they kind of end up in like a foursome, like, but
Yes.
also not. And so
It's
I just don't know what that was like, what that was trying to say, I guess. Yeah.
no, I get, and I think that's kind of the movie then becoming a movie, and I think that's the
Yeah.
very intentional thing. It's the kind of ending where I go, "Oh, no one's right, yet everyone's right at the same time," and that can be a cop out for some people. They might go, "Obviously, we live in such an interesting time where everyone's like, you have to be black and white about, what the themes of this movie are, i.e., look at people's analysis of weapons or Eddington or things like that, which are far more, thematically rich, not necessarily thematically richer than this, but this is at the end of the day a romantic comedy that is just being like, hey, love is weird and it makes you do weird things and jealousy makes you do weird things like fucking fight slapstick with your friend and try and trash a house and shit like that. So yeah, it's interesting that the movie doesn't have a lot to say, but kind of is saying a lot by that
It just, I
as
think,
well.
really makes you think more than anything. And that's what I really
Totally.
liked about it. And at the same time, it is just so funny.
Yeah.
And this like comedic duo, these two guys, I just think they are absolute superstars. And I cannot wait to see what they do next. I hope they're like working together again because
I
I know they
think
did The
they
Climb
are.
and now this. So like fingers crossed.
This is absolutely their breakout, which is fantastic. Like The Climb came out 6 years ago, so they had done a bit of acting in between then. But it'd be shocking if they hadn't got something else ready in the pipeline to go because Splitsville's really catapulted them into a
Oh,
mainstream
good.
sort of, yeah.
That's what I like
Um,
to hear. And let's also just say Dakota Johnson, like what a year she is having.
she's
I am in love with her.
amazing.
She is so beautiful.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
oh my goodness.
She's beautiful, but she's making so many great decisions from an acting perspective as well.
Yes.
Like she is
And I think it's like
absolutely killing it
almost
at the
taken
moment.
her a while to get there. Like I think on paper she's made a lot of really good decisions. It hasn't
Mm,
really hit until this year, I feel.
mm.
And I'm like, finally people are starting to see who she is as an actress. And yeah, I'm just so excited to
And
see
as a
more of her.
producer as well, she's
Yeah.
making a lot of interesting decisions behind the camera as well. So one to look out for. But definitely out of the two, Splitsville, especially because it's an independent release around the world. Like Neon's got it around the world, and Mad Men have it here. So I think go see that. Support independent cinema, especially ones that are as fucking
It's
entertaining as
like in
this one.
my top five of the year. I freaking loved it.
Wow.
Like,
I
yeah,
mean,
really, really
rightfully
big
so.
fan.
It's really, really funny. I had to watch it on a screener earlier this year, but I heard that it blew the house down at Sydney Film Festival. So
Oh, that would have been
that would have been a
amazing.
great experience. So definitely watch out for Splitsville. So that's the two reviews that we wanted to quickly go through. Let's, before we get into our big review of the episode, quickly look at the box office from last weekend. Thank you to Numero Box Office. And really no surprises this week. Number five is a movie called Loka Chapter One Chandra, which is a Malayalam. Say that five times fast, Nick. Go on. Malay. I won't try again. It's an Indian language film. So it's a Bollywood superhero fantasy film. And they have popped up on the show a fair few times. And they have really solid audience bases here. But it made about $300,000 in the box office at number five. So that's
Nice.
pretty good. Weapons at number four with another $400,000. So it's been a month in cinemas here in
So good.
Australia.
Actually, my dad just went to see it like this week for the first time. So people are still going.
People are still seeing it. What did he think? What was his
He
verdict?
loved it. Yeah, I think they were like really scared because they don't like horror movies, but ultimately loved it. So
Great. I spoke to someone today who told me they were seeing it tomorrow for the first time. So you're right.
see,
People are
yeah,
still going to see
the
it.
word of mouth is strong on this one.
Very strong and rightfully so. Number three at $700,000, The Naked Gun. So still turning solid profit.
Wow.
People still going out for a laugh. I have to think at this point, The Naked Gun was a box office success. Like surely.
I'm not sure what it did like globally, but I would think so.
I'm
Yeah.
looking now. It's past 100 million globally.
Well, that's great for a comedy.
That's
So
brilliant for a comedy. Do we get Liam Neeson in Naked Gun two and a half, but technically Naked Gun five, I guess. So who knows? Who knows?
fingers crossed.
Coming in at number two with $1 million, The Roses. I've probably
Oh, that's
performed
great.
far better than I thought it would.
Yeah, me too. I guess the like older crowd, I feel like this is exactly their kind of
Totally.
film. So
And it got a really positive reception. Like a lot of people have really enjoyed it. So
yeah, well, I loved it. I think
well,
it's just a great movie. So
And number one, no surprises to anyone. It's the last ride for Ed and Lorraine Warren, but absolutely will not be the last film in the Conjuring universe. $4.8 million, The Conjuring Last Rites. It's
Insane.
it's established franchise. People love it. It did absolute gangbusters globally as well, actually. I need to get that up.
Yeah, I read it was like the biggest ever opening of like a horror movie or something.
And it was something like 70 something million dollars. It's already at $332 million worldwide. In its
Wow.
opening weekend, it's outgrossed Final Destination and Weapons globally. So just the power of the franchise, people
People
love The
love it.
Conjuring. They
I've
love
heard
it.
they're going to do a prequel next, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, look, I mean, sometimes sometimes it's just best to leave sleeping dogs lie and
I
go
agree.
out on a high enough. That is the last
There's no
rites,
way
but
they're going out on a high here. They're
not at all now that Warner Brothers have cash to spend with the lucratively financial year that they've had, and still some to come. Like that's the thing. We'll see how one battle after another goes. We'll see what
fingers crossed.
they have. Fingers crossed indeed. We really want that one to do well. But Conjuring absolutely blowing it out of the water last weekend. And that was the box office in Australia. Thank you to Numero again. That'll be returning next week as always. But let us finish off the episode with the review for the Stephen King adaptation from Francis Lawrence, The Long Walk.
We did the very first long walk years ago to inspire everyday people.
You'll never find another like me. I'm the last of my kind.
First warning.
Okay, just keep walking. That's right. Just keep walking.
Yeah, that's it, kid. That's it. Second warning. Third warning.
A group of teenage boys compete in an annual contest known as the Long Walk, where they must maintain a certain walking speed or get shot. So, I mean, that's pretty much putting it bluntly, right? That's a very apt description of the film. This is a dystopian survival thriller co-produced and directed by Francis Lawrence, who people will know as the director of pretty much, I think, every Hunger Games film from Catching Fire on, I believe.
Yeah, not the first one, but all the others.
All the other ones, including Songbird of Ballad and Songbirds. Was it? Songbird and Snakes, sorry. I'll get it right one day. And he did I Am Legend as well, which I think is an
And
underrated
Constantine,
banger.
don't forget
And
about
Constantine,
that one.
we cannot forget Constantine. We're still waiting for that sequel, Keanu. The screenplay was by JT Molyneux, who did Strange Darling last year. That was his directorial debut.
Big fan of that one.
Big fan of that, and you can definitely see some of that writing going on in here. So The Long Walk is based on the 1979 novel of the same name by Stephen King, but it was released under his pseudonym Richard Bachman. And the film stars Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson, Garrett Waring, Tut Nyot, Charlie Plummer, Ben Wong, Roman Griffin Davis, Judy Greer, Josh Hamilton, and Mark Hamill as the Major. Now, I was highly anticipating this film just based on the premise alone. This is a cool, fucked up premise, right? Stephen King as well is a big pull. Francis Lawrence, I think, is a very competent director. He's done some really cool stuff within the Hunger Games franchise. I don't love those films, but I can say that they have some pretty cool scenes. Sure. But it was JT Molyneux writing the screenplay that had me keen, and it was Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson that had me very excited for this film. But what was your initial thoughts going into The Long Walk?
Yeah, I was pretty similar. Just like the trailer looked awesome. I love like a dystopian thriller, like you said. And Cooper Hoffman, yeah, like I've loved him so far. And I don't want to say this like his big break because obviously he was in like Licorice Pizza and everything.
Totally.
But I feel like this is the first movie that's like really gotten a lot of attention.
Absolutely. I think Licorice Pizza, it was a tough sell. It's a Paul Thomas Anderson film, but it was post-COVID about a age gap problematic relationship in the 1980s. So
I loved it, but
I loved it too.
Yeah,
I think it's one of PTA's
problematic.
best films, right? But and that's the point of the film, right? Like that's the whole. Like I will sit there and defend Licorice Pizza because it is a great movie that actually is about a teenage boy in the fucking 80s doing what teenage boys did in the 80s. But yeah, he was fantastic in that. Obviously, Cooper Hoffman, the son of the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman, who was a longtime collaborator of Paul Thomas Anderson as well. But he is brilliant in the film. David Johnson. So a lot of people probably know him from Alien Romulus. He plays the cyborg in Alien Romulus, and he was in Rye Lane, which I haven't seen, but I've heard really
I've
good
seen
things
it. It's
about.
pretty good. Yeah. People loved it. I wasn't like as high on it as everyone
Sure,
else, but like it was pretty good. Yeah.
pretty good, and he's pretty good in it, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's great. I would definitely say though that this is the first time I've been like, who the hell is that movie star? Like, holy shit.
He is incredible in this. So, like, for context, like, I wasn't able to see The Long Walk last week because I saw Downton Abbey, the grand finale, instead. We had two screens the same night. I was away over the weekend. I literally watched it 5 hours ago.
You're fresh.
I'm fresh on The Long Walk. I am depressed and exhausted from The Long Walk. David Johnson skyrocketed in this film to one of my favorite actors to watch right now. Like if David Johnson's in something, I will watch it because he is a force in this movie. Jesus Christ, he's incredible.
Agreed. And to me, like my biggest takeaway from this movie was literally like we are in such safe hands with these two leads. Like specifically David Johnson, I loved him so much. But yeah, I was just like, these two guys are going to win Oscars in the next few years. Like they are just so talented, and I cannot wait to see what they do next. And yeah, they just crushed it in this movie, so loved it.
So this is obviously based on the premise alone that if they, it's this dystopian film where you can volunteer via lottery to do this competition. You got to walk 3 miles per hour. You get 3 warnings. If you're not caught going to the speed on your third warning, pardon me, you get shot. And you see it a lot in this film. And they do not hold back. This could have easily been like a Hunger Games Maze Runner PG-13. Like they could have marketed it like that. The first thing is everyone says fuck in this movie. I always take notice when movies use fuck a lot. And I was like, but fair. This is like 50 dudes who are literally walking for their life. They can get away with saying fuck a lot. The first guy to get shot in the head, I was like, oh, this movie's not fucking around. Like, this is going to be a brutal, intense ride. Like, that was just, and it didn't stop from that point. Watching these poor kids.
Yeah, it was pretty full on.
Just watching these poor kids get executed.
It was brutal. And yeah, I know, like, I don't want to say I loved it, but like, I liked how, it was so brutal and intense. We needed that. I feel like that is what really elevates this film, as opposed to something like The Hunger Games, which I do love as well. But I think you really needed that like intense violence to really sell this premise. And I went with a friend, and she was like literally traumatized by this movie. She was covering her eyes in so many scenes, and she was like really disturbed. So I do think like a lot of people are probably going to struggle to watch it for that reason. I think like, you know, sickos like us are kind of fine. But it was a hard watch in that way. And sad.
Well, I think that's, you've hit the nail on the head, and the key word there is sad, because you are so emotionally invested. We don't get, apart from maybe 1 or 2 scenes, many flashbacks to give us context as to why these guys are here and why they're doing it. People will mention why they're doing it. When the actual reason, our main character, when Cooper Hoffman's character reveals why he's doing it, there's a lot of emotional stakes that are involved there. And then it becomes the game of like, how is he going to achieve his mission? And I was white knuckled from that point, because I was like, fuck, how is he going to do this? But as you're watching, because spoiler alert, there's a lot that only one person can win this. So people are going to die. So as you're getting to know characters and as you're watching them die, it is exhausting, like in the most literal sense. Like you were just going like, how can I continue watching these characters who I've grown bonds with over the last 90 minutes just continually get executed like they're doing? And it had far more emotional investment than I was anticipating. Like I did not expect to be as attached to this film. And I think that's a credit to the screenwriting. I think it builds such a wonderful is probably the wrong word, but immersive narrative and immersion into the characters that makes you actually 100%. Give a shit.
And I think what is also a real credit to the screenwriting is like, this is like a no frills style dystopian kind of thriller.
Totally.
It is just them walking. There is like nothing else. And obviously there are like shots of people dying here and there, but like a lot of it is literally just based on the conversations these guys are having.
Yeah,
and
totally.
to keep us invested for like, I think it was close to hours, it's pretty impressive. So
no, you're 100% right. It is more of a character drama than it is a thriller at most points. Like you are just finding out a lot about these guys and the reasons why they're doing it and why they're fueled to even join the lottery to get selected for something like this. Like it's not a Hunger Games, you're picked out of a thing. Like it's a game. It's almost like the Running Man sort of thing.
You've
like
signed up. Yeah.
you've signed up to do this. I thought the final 15 minutes. I think this movie's fantastic. I don't know if it'll end up in like my top 10 of the year, but I really, really thought it was great. The final 15 minutes, though, was the most tensing I've experienced in a cinema this year. Like, I was so emotionally hooked into what was happening with when you get to the final three characters. And I was just like, I had no idea what was going to happen. I wanted everyone to win, but I knew two of these guys who I've really grown to like are going to get killed. And I hated every second of it. And that's how good it was. Like that's
100%. And it's so stressful to watch the whole movie because you're watching these people build these bonds and you just know how heartbroken you're going to feel when they eventually die because only one person can win. And it's like so stressful.
It's brought up right at the beginning as well. When Ray sits down and introduces himself to Peter, that's the Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson characters. They're like so buddy with each other, like, yeah, we're going to get each other through this. And then one guy's like, yeah, only one of us can win. Like 49 of us are going to be fucking dead in the next few days. So wild, just fucking wild. I love this movie.
100%. And yeah, look, there's this line that David Johnson's character has that's like, because they can make a wish at the very end.
Yes.
And he's basically like, oh, my wish is going to be that like in the future games, they can like keep their buddy with them and have like one extra person, two people can win the next game, basically. And it's just like, oh, they've really like formed this amazing bond. And yeah, so it is just really heartbreaking. But yeah. I was ruined by this movie, honestly, in the best way possible, like you're saying. What did you think of Mark Hamill?
I liked Mark Hamill. I think he is the most over the top probably aspect of the film. Probably him and
very cartoonish.
Very cartoonish. I thought Ben Wong was very cartoonish as well. He plays Hank, who's this very loudmouth, abrasive walker. I thought there was just times where I was like, and maybe this was the point, but I was kind of like dial it back a little bit. But you're right. There is a cartoonish aspect to Mark Hamill as the Major. He's dressed he's got his glasses, his handlebars moustache, his Major hat. He's often like shadowing his face with the hat. And he's saying things like, there's a great bit where Cooper Hoffman, where the Major is going like, keep moving, boys, you're doing well. And Cooper Hoffman's like, shut the fuck up. Like, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Don't fucking talk to me. And he's like, you've got balls, son. You're going to win this race. Like, he is just a man facilitating a competition. He is like, he's like the Caesar character in the Hunger Games ultimately for me. So probably a little bit too heightened for my liking because of how grounded everything else is. But it's also Mark Hamill just like having a fucking blast. I know. What did you think of him?
I was pretty similar. A bit cartoonish, but I enjoyed him. I always love seeing Mark Hamill. What can I say? So
I rewatched Life of Chuck the other night, and I love him in that as well. It's that same sort of like gruff. He has this like gruffness to him, but this sort of like very sort of enticing warmth that he has as well, which obviously goes away with the mayor. But like, I just love Mark Hamill so much. So this is probably the. Oh yeah, no, please, yeah.
I was just going to say, like, one thing that really I found very interesting about this movie was, like, there was a large part of it was, like, quite uplifting as well. Like, there is so much sadness and brutality, but it is really uplifting. I just on a side tangent here.
Oh, yeah.
When we were saying that, like, there is insane violence, there's not just violence. It's, like, all the nitty-gritty in this movie. Like, how do these characters take a shit? How do they piss? Like, they do not hold back. It is disgusting and like, but it like works so well. And like, yeah, it's just this. Totally. This is not like a YA kind of movie like The Maze Runner, like you're saying.
No. I as always just peruse Letterboxd after you watch the film and see what people say. And one of the most popular reviews was, if you were wondering how someone is going to shit and do the long walk, you find out in this film, and you absolutely do.
I'm glad they answered that kind of question, honestly, because too many movies like pass over this, and I'm like, this is an important part.
If this is the thing, right? Like, if this is a competition that requires you to not stop walking at a certain pace until the last person is literally standing, you can't. This movie goes for about a 3-4 day period, so you kind of like you gotta kind of shit at some point. Like
Yeah.
unless you've mastered the art of clogging yourself up, like it's not happening. And this movie
Yeah, and I mean you have to
intensely
eat
portrays it.
because otherwise you'll have no energy, but then you've got to shit. So it's like insane. But yeah, no,
It's
so
they
what
filmed
I
it
was
everything.
gonna say is that one thing that kind of surprised me about this movie in
Mm,
like whenever you watch like a Deadly Game style
sure.
movie, which I've been watching a lot of them, this movie's like spurred on a lot of watches for me. A lot of the times the characters are kind of almost like trying to take each other out. Like if you watch like Squid
Yes.
Game, for example, there's always like some good guys that are like just trying to work together, but there's always like one dickhead who's like trying to like
Mhm.
punch another guy or kill him or something. This one, like, I was shocked they didn't really have any of this. It was like literally just all the guys working together to try and like get by. And it
Yeah.
wasn't like if someone was dying, they'd be like, yeah, someone's gonna die. They were like just really trying to like hype them up and make sure
Yeah.
that they could win. And yeah, I just thought that
Well,
was like a really nice touch.
the one time it happens, the one time someone causes the death of someone else, there's immediate regret from that person. And he was like, I didn't mean for that to
Yeah.
happen. And then he
Yeah.
becomes the villain of the group, but not through maliciousness, through just being a dickhead. He is the dickhead of the group, but he's not trying to kill anyone. And it leads to fucking deadly results, as it does for most of the people in this film. But this is a tough one to recommend to a broad audience, though. Like, I would never show Rhiannon this. She would hate all 106 minutes of whatever of this film because
Yeah.
it is tense from start to finish. It starts with you getting with Cooper Hoffman getting dropped off at the walk by his mum, and then ends at the end of the walk. Like you
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
you are just the walk the entire
But at least,
time.
yeah, it gets straight into it. I do respect a movie that kind of does that. So I love
I love
that. But
I love
I
that.
completely agree with you. Like, strong recommendation from me as
Totally.
long as you like the Deadly Game genre and you
Yep.
can deal with those like pretty grueling, dark themes because this
Totally.
is not a feel good movie.
Not at all. Not at all. Not feel good, but despite the fact that I think David Johnson and Cooper Hoffman are the future of character actors in
Cinema.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
I hope they become movie stars. I truly do. But if Cooper kind of goes down the route of his dad and does like character actor Philip Seymour Hoffman and does these awesome movies and plays these memorable characters, I would love that. David Johnson has movie star charisma. Like he has the aura of a guy who just completely gravitates your attention to the screen. If you didn't think that in Alien Romulus, you're absolutely going to think that in the Long Walk. He is the best part of this film by far. So with two performances like that, I mean, just
I agree. And I've seen some people now say he should be the next James Bond. And I'm like, I'm totally for that. Like, I actually
I'm
don't want
down.
anyone, like, I don't want him to do Bond personally, but like, because I
No,
want him to do like more interesting things. But I'm like, I can see that. And like a role like that would actually like really elevate his career even further. And
agreed.
I really do just think he could do that kind of thing. So yeah, I think he's a superstar.
Oh, absolutely. He is also in Industry, which I want to watch, which I haven't
Yeah,
seen
I
yet.
haven't
So,
seen that, but I've heard amazing things. So
okay, adding that to the watch list. And his next movie coming up is called Waste Man, which is a
yeah, I feel
British.
like I saw him at TIFF, like in photos or something. So there must be something else coming out
The film
soonish.
premiered in the Centerpiece program at the 2025 Toronto International Film Festival. There we go. And it co-stars Tom Blythe, who I love as
Oh,
well. But there's not much about it here on the Wikipedia. Another Lionsgate film. So
oh,
they're obviously capitalizing. Oh, produced by Philip Barantini, who did Adolescence.
oh, okay, wow.
There's some quality going on there. So
Yeah,
he is one to look out for. I really want to just see what Cooper Hoffman is doing next as well, because he's interesting. He hasn't necessarily like done. Also, he's only 22. Cooper Hoffman.
oh my God, he's so young.
He's
That's
so
insane.
young. Obviously, he was great in Saturday Night as well.
Yeah, I loved him in that.
Oh, he's doing a Greg Araki film next. I Want Your
Oh,
Sex with Olivia Wilde,
oh,
Charlie XCX, Daveed Diggs, Mason Gooding, Chase Sui Wonders, Johnny Knoxville, and Margaret Cho.
okay,
Wow,
my dream cast. I love this.
that's an eclectic cast. So, and that is coming up next year. They just wrapped filming in Los Angeles.
Oh, so exciting.
That is pretty goddamn fun. Okay, well, these two have some interesting stuff coming up, and if you want to see what they're doing before that, go watch The Long Walk because they are forces in this film. So huge recommends from Ash and I for that one there.
Yes, loved it.
If you want more thoughts on it, you can read Josh's review. He reviewed it over at worldofscreens.com. You can check out his thoughts. Get three opinions. They're all the same opinion. We loved it. But you can get Josh's thoughts there as well. But that brings us to the end of another episode of the World of Screens podcast. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Ash, for jumping on and chatting all these films again. Where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Movie Watching Girl.
Amazing. Next few episodes coming out. We got the TV edition dropping tomorrow, actually. Josh and I will be continuing our recaps of Alien Earth and Peacemaker, and we've got Task episode 2, which has dropped. And we're going to be talking Black Rabbit, the new Netflix thriller miniseries with Jason Bateman and Jude Law. And for the next edition of the movie themed show, we're going to be talking A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, starring Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell, and The Bad Guys 2, which had an extended delayed release here in Australia for our school holidays. Classic Australia. However, I will, spoiler alert, convince people not to sleep on it because I think it was a baller film and it had the best singular action scene of any movie this year, and we will talk about that on the next episode.
Can't wait. I'm glad to hear that because I'm taking my kids to see it over the school holidays. So
good. They will. Did they like the first one?
They did. Yeah, big fans. We saw the Gabby Stollhouse movie over the weekend. So
how did that go? Yes, no, that was one I missed. Unfortunately,
pretty good. Yeah. They're like obsessed with the show. So big fans.
Didn't even know it was a show. So there we go. The Gabby Stollhouse fan have something to look forward to next weekend as well. No, they will love The Bad Guys too because it is bigger and bolder and more colorful and
love that.
Really entertaining. But we will break that down next week. Until then, you can head to worldofscreens.com for all the latest film, TV reviews, awards, expert articles, hot take articles, everything's there, giveaways, worldofscreens.com. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of the World of Screens podcast.
Bye.